Hello guys, and welcome back again to another interesting tutorial video. In our today's video, we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful shift gown with a together pocket and a drawstring at the both side. So if this is what you're interested in learning, let's dive into the video without wasting much time. Okay, so the basic thing you'll be needing for this gown is your fabric and then an elastic rubber, okay, for the sleeve band. So now I'm going to fold my fabric into 4, okay. That is because we'll be cutting both the back and the front piece together, okay. So you have to fold it by 4, but if you want to cut your own differently, you can just fold by 2, okay. So what next thing I'm going to do now is to place my tape. I'm trying to get the length of the gown that I'm working with and also the hemming allowance, okay. And I'm going to mark out my shoulder line. I'm going to mark out the shoulder line, okay, and then I'm going to extend the line, right? So I'm going to extend the line and then I'm going to rule it out. So I'm going to mark out the chest line, okay. I'm going to mark out the chest line, which is the bust line. So I'm going to mark it out, and then after that we're going to mark the neckline. I'll go in with 3 inches and come down with 4 inches for the front neckline, and for the back neckline I'll be coming down with 1 inch, okay, because I want the back neckline to be a kind of high neck, right? So I'm going to go ahead and connect the both lines. So on that front piece, I want mine to have a slit, okay. I want to just open it a bit at the front area. So I'm going to go down from that 4 inches that I came down with. I'm going to go down with 4 inches again, okay, which is going to make it 8 inches in total. So I'm going to mark that 4 inches, and then from that neckline, from the front neckline, I'm going to go in with 1/2 inch, okay, and then I'm going to connect the both line in a slant way using my ruler, okay, just as you can see me doing like this. So that is just it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my shoulder measurement by 2, and I'm going to mark it on that shoulder line and then extend it down to the chest line, okay, to form a straight line just like this, okay. This is because I'll be cutting the sleeve differently, but if you want to cut your own sleeve together, you don't even need to put this measurement, okay. For the shoulder slope, I came down with 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and then I connect back to the neckline. So I'm going to measure the distance between the shoulder slope down to the chest line, and then I'm going to get the center of it, okay, the midpoint of it for our armhole, okay. Then on the chest line, I'm going to divide the biggest part of my body, which is my hip. I'm going to divide it by 4, and I'm going to mark it down on that chest line, okay. Then I'm going to connect the 2 points like this. This will be for the back armhole, right? Then for the front armhole, I'm going to come in with 1/2 inch, okay. From that midpoint, I'm going to come in with 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope to that 1/2 inch that we came in, and then I'm going to connect back to the armhole, okay, just like this, right? Okay, please do not forget to add extra allowance on your chest line, okay. Then I'm going to place my tape back to get my half length, which is going to serve as the waistline, right? The reason why I want to get this line is because I want to add a together pocket, but if you don't want to add it on your own, you can just go ahead and leave the line, okay. So I'm going to add extra allowance for this part, okay, which is I'm going to add extra 3 inches allowance, right? And whatever I have there is what I'm going to take all the way down, okay. Remember that we put our hip measurement, which is the biggest part of your body, but it actually depends if your hip is the biggest part of your body. If your chest round is your biggest part of your body, you can just go ahead and divide it by 4 and then take it down, okay, adding 3 inches allowance for ease, right? So on that half length line, I'm going to mark where my hand can be able to enter inside. Okay, so I'm going to, from that line, I'm going to come down with 6 inches, and then I'm going to mark it out. Okay, so after marking it down, the next thing I'm going to do is to mark extra 4 inches from that 6 inches that you went down with from your half length. I'm going to mark it down, and I'm going to connect like this. Can you see? I don't have enough fabric here. That is the reason, because if I have enough fabric, it would have, as in, be more big or something like that. I don't know if you are getting me, but we are running short of fabric here. So, and I'm trying to make use of what I have, right? So I'm going to connect the line just like, there's no different way of doing this. You can just go ahead and do it just as the way you are seeing me doing it, like this. Then from that line, you're going to connect back to that 6 inches that we came down from. Okay, the place where our hand can be able to go in from. Okay, so I'm going to cut out, I think you can now, it's now bold for us to see. So, and on that armhole, I'm going to be cutting from the back armhole first, and on the neckline, I'm also going to cut the back neckline first. Okay, so after cutting out, I'm going to put remove one. Okay, so that I can be able to cut the front one, right? So guys, please, on that pocket area, if you still have enough fabric, and just add it to be more big. Okay, I don't have enough, that's why I just make use of what I have here, but it's really come out well when I wore it. So that is just it. So I'm going to put one out. This is how it's going to look like when you know, open it up. So I'm going to open up this side like this. Okay, remember we folded it before. So I'm going to put one aside. I'm going to remove the inside one so that we can be able to cut the armhole and the front neckline, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, and then the neckline as well. Okay, remember the slits, and then cut out the neckline. Okay, so when you open it up, this is what you are going to have. Can you see how the neckline is? So that is what I was trying to explain earlier, right? So I'm going to fold it back so that I can be able to cut out the facing of it, right? So I'm going to bring another fresh fabric, and I'm going to fold it so that we can be able to cut the neckline. So whatever thing we cut earlier on that neckline, so I'm just going to repeat now on the facing part. Okay, so after cutting it out, I'll go in with 3 inches up and 3 inches down. Okay, and then I'm going to connect back, then cut out. And I'm also going to repeat the same thing on the back piece. So for the sleeve, remember that the sleeve is a kind of, we pleated it. Okay, so I'm going to, whatever measurement I have, my bicep measurement, I'm going to times it by 2. My sleeve band measurement, I'm also going to times it by 2. So that is what I'm trying to create here. Okay, and also I have a detailed sleeve long and basic long and sleeve tutorial on this channel. You can just go ahead and check it out. Okay, so it's not a difficult thing to do. It's not a very difficult thing to do. You can just go ahead and times everything by 2, and you are going to get your sleeve, right? So I'm going to mark out, and then I'm going to connect and cut. And I'm going to cut another piece of this for the second sleeve. Okay, so it's now time to start sewing. I have this strip that I cut earlier, and I've already gone ahead to fold it, so I want to put it on the neckline area. Okay, so I'm going to pin down, and I'm also going to pin on the other side. Okay, then after that I'm going to bring out the facing. Please, if you have a gum stay, you should please gum it with your gum stay or your hair stay. Okay, so I'm going to place it, make sure that the right side is facing the right side, and then move over to your sewing machine to stitch on it. Okay, then after you are done stitching it, just go ahead and turn it up. Okay, so I'm going to also repeat the same thing on the back piece. Okay, I'm going to sew on the neckline, and then I'm going to flip over, right? So I'm done sewing this, and this is what I have. So I'm trying to notch out. You should please notch out, but please be careful about the lines, about the stitching line, so that you don't get to cut on it, right? So I'm going to flip it over. So I also went ahead to hem the mouth of the facing. Okay, so because I don't want to sew it top stitch on it, I don't want any thread to show at the front side. So I have this hemming gum, so I'm going to place it under, and then I'm going to iron it very well. Okay, so that the two of them will come together. Okay, so if you have your hemming gun, you can just go ahead and do it like this, but if you don't have, you can just go ahead and stitch top stitch on it, right? So it will still give you the same thing, right? So after I'm done ironing it, I'm going to tell you guys the next step to go. Please iron, take your time and iron very well. Okay, for the neatness of the clothes, right? So after that, you are also going to repeat the same thing on the back piece. So it's now time to join both the back and the front piece together. Okay, so I'm going to place it, make sure that the right side is facing the right side. I'm going to pin down, and after I'm done pinning down, I'll move over to my sewing machine to stitch the shoulder like this. Okay, to sew on the shoulder side using 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm done sewing mine, and this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to hem the downside. Okay, remember that we'll be putting a rope, a drawstring on that downside. So you are going to first of all hem the downside before you join the sides together, right? So you have to fold 2 times, but since this is the English mouth of this, I'm just going to fold once. Okay, but if your own is not the English mouth, you can just go ahead and fold 2 times. Okay, then I'm done folding it, and this is what I have. I also went ahead to give it a nice press. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to join the two sides. So I'm going to use about 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches to sew down. Okay, so I'm going to use 1.25, and then I'm going to sew it to the downside, right? And I'm also going to repeat the same thing on this side as well. So for the sleeve, I'm going to fold it 2 times. I'm going to fold it, but the folding is going to be as big as the elastic, so that the elastic can be able to enter inside, right? So this is it. For the elastic, I cut exactly my sleeve round measurements, Okay, I cut exactly my sleeve round measurement. I did not deduct anything because I don't want it to be very tight, right? So I'm going to put it inside, and then I will first of all hold this side with my pin to secure it, right? So I'm going to pin down with my pin, and then I'll continue pushing it until I get to the other side. Then I'm also going to secure it with my pin, right? So this is what we are going to have. This is what we have. So on that upper side, I'm also going to move out to my sewing machine to pleat on it, right? So that is just it. So I'm going to move out my sewing machine to pleat on this side, and whatever I do on this one is what I'm going to repeat on the other sleeve, right? So I'm done joining this one together, and I also went ahead to set the rough side. Okay, can you see? So the next thing I'll be doing here is that I'll be folding this part like this, just that side. Okay, depending on where you want the string to reach. So I'll be folding it, I'll open it up and sew this one straight, and I'll also sew the other side straight. And whatever I did on this part is what I'm going to repeat on the other side. Okay, I hope you guys understand me, but if you do not understand me, you can just go ahead and leave a comment, your question down the comment section. I'm going to reply you all. Okay, so now I'm done sewing it. You can see. Okay, just go ahead and open it up, sew on the other side and sew on the other side, okay, to hold down the allowance, right? So it's now time to join the sleeve together to the dress. Okay, I'm going to notch the center part of the sleeve, and I'm going to place it from the shoulder line. Then I'm going to pin it round. After pinning it round, I'll move over to my sewing machine to stitch on it, and whatever I did on this part is what I'm going to repeat on the other side. Okay, so and then after it, I'm going to fold it like this and then sew it to the armhole side. So it's now time to insert the rope, the drawstring, right? So I'm going to insert it, and from the other side I'm going to be monitoring it. When it gets to the end of it, I will stop pushing it, and then I'll also put the second one, right? So you'll be monitoring it from the wrong side to know when the thing comes out, right? So, and I'm also going to insert the second one as well. I'm also going to insert, let me cut out because this is very long. So I'm going to cut it out, and then I will go ahead and insert the second one. So after inserting it, I'll move out my sewing machine to stitch on it to secure it, right? I'll run a double stitch on it, and I'll also repeat the same thing on this side. And once you are done, you are literally done with this beautiful gown. So this is the outcome of it. You can see how fine and beautiful it is. You can see the sleeve, you can see that rope that we attached on that neckline area. You can see the drawstring. Okay, so this is what the back view looks like. Can you see it? And here is the pocket. Can you see? I've not even ironed it, and it's like this. So after everything, make sure you iron very well, right? So this is the pocket. You can see it's very fine. The only problem I have with this is because it's not that deep, but it still come out fine. So here we come to the end of this video. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do well by hitting the subscribe button. Turn on your bell notification to be notified whenever we upload, okay? So please, if you have not subscribed, hit on that subscribe button. Thank you for always coming back, and thank you for always hitting the like button. Please don't forget to hit on the like button, share the video so that more people can be able to see it. Thank you very much. I'm going to see you all in my next one. Bye.